Did you hear about Lila's divorce? Oh my God, what a total mess. I honestly knew it wouldn't last. Delicious drama. It feeds the soul, doesn't it? Just between us, she brought it on herself. The chandelier lights are bright, sparkling off everyone's jewelry. Everyone is dressed to impress, smiles plastered on faces, but I'm the one holding the real power in this room. Information. It's the most valuable currency here. I move strategically from group to group, collecting secrets like precious stones. It's an art form, really. A little compliment here, a sympathetic nod there, and people just open up like books, eager to spill their darkest thoughts. Lean in closer. I have to tell you something, but you must promise it stays absolutely between us. You won't believe what I heard about Nadia's finances. Apparently, that brand new luxury car outside is leased, and they are drowning in debt. Like dodging calls from the bank drowning. They might lose the house. Don't tell anyone I told you. Watching their eyes widen, hearing those shocked gasps and whispered, "No ways." It's an addiction, a pure adrenaline rush. I feel important. I feel connected. I'm the hub that connects all these spokes. I'm just sharing news, right? Just venting a little with friends. Everyone does it. It's harmless social glue that keeps us bonded together. I don't see the toxic smoke leaving my lips with every whispered word. I don't smell the rot. I only feel the rush of being the one who knows more than everyone else. The party is over. The heavy makeup is off. But the real work is just beginning on my phone. I'm curled up in my soft silk sheets, the luxury of my room contrasting with the filth I'm spreading. The glow of the screen lights up my face as my thumbs move at lightning speed. 5 different exclusive group chats are active simultaneously, and I am the unquestioned queen bee of all of them. This is where the real damage happens, away from prying eyes, where we can really be ourselves. In the real tea chat, I'm typing out a long, detailed paragraph dissecting Sarah's parenting skills based on a tiny, insignificant rumor I heard at the buffet tonight. Send. The typing bubbles appear instantly from everyone else. Laughing emojis, shocked gifs, people adding their own nasty little observations. It's instant validation. I feel powerful, like I'm leading the pack on a hunt. Oh, wait, look at this. A screenshot someone trusted me with privately last week. It's too good to keep to myself. Forwarding it to the other group now with a caption. Can you believe she actually said this to me? Dead emoji. I love watching the chaos unfold from a distance. Every ping on my phone is a hit of dopamine. I'm destroying reputations from the comfort of my bed, feeling absolutely zero remorse. It's just too fun being at the center of the drama to care about the consequences. It's time for Duhur prayer. I lay out my mat mechanically in the corner of my room. This is usually my time for peace, a reset in the middle of the day. But today feels different, wrong. As I raise my hands for takbir to begin, my mind isn't on God. It's a chaotic whirlwind of the secrets I shared, the nasty laughs, the betrayed trusts from last night. I try to recite Al-Fatiha, the opening chapter I've said thousands of times, but the words feel completely empty, hollow, like dead leaves crumbling in my mouth. They seem to bounce right off the ceiling and fall back onto me. It's as if there is a thick, invisible wall between my heart and God, built brick by brick with my own poisonous words. Every time I try to focus on the divine, A snippet of gossip or a mean comment I made pops into my head, distracting me, mocking me. I feel physically uncomfortable on the mat, itchy and restless in my own skin, like I don't belong in this sacred space anymore. The shadows and the corners of the room seem to flicker nervously in my peripheral vision, heavier than usual. I rush through the movements, performing robotic actions just to get it over with and escape. When I say salam to end it, I feel absolutely no relief, no connection, only a deeper sense of hollowness and a strange, lingering anxiety I can't explain. My worship feels rejected, blocked by the filth I've been constantly consuming and spewing. The expensive dinner that evening is supposed to be a distraction, a way to numb the growing unease in my gut. I'm at the newest, most exclusive restaurant in the city with 3 other women, surrounded by ambient lighting and hushed conversations. When the main course arrives, a beautifully plated, expensive filet mignon, it looks perfect. But as I slice into it and bring the fork to my lips, my stomach lurches violently. The smell hits me first. It's not the aroma of roasted meat and herbs. It's the distinct, sickly sweet stench of something dead left out in the sun too long. I try to ignore it, forcing the bite into my mouth, desperate to maintain appearances. The moment my teeth sink in, I nearly gag. The texture is wrong, mushy, stringy, revolting. The taste that explodes on my tongue is pure putrefaction, copper and rot. I spit it out into my silk napkin with a loud, ungraceful retching sound, drawing stares from nearby tables. "Yasmin, are you all right?" one friend asks, her concern laced with judgment. "I'm fine," I lie, chugging water to rinse the foul taste away, my hands trembling. I think the meat is off. I suddenly don't feel well. I spend the rest of the night picking at bread, the taste of decay lingering in my mouth like a permanent stain, watching the others eat with a growing sense of horror. By the time I get home, the physical revulsion has morphed into acute paranoia. I'm back in my room, the sanctuary that now feels like a cage. I pick up my phone, my usual weapon of choice, but now it feels radioactive in my hands. I open the Real Tea group chat. It's quiet. Too quiet? Are they talking about me in another chat I'm not in? The thought is an icy spike of adrenaline. I scroll back through my own messages, the vicious takedowns, the shared secrets. Suddenly, they don't look clever or powerful. They look like evidence. I see a message from Sarah, the one whose parenting I tore apart. It's just a simple, "Hey, how are you?" But my mind immediately spirals. Does she know? Who told her? I feel exposed, naked in a room full of mirrors. Desperate to regain the upper hand, to feel that rush of control again, I start typing out a new rumor about someone else, something truly damaging I heard about a colleague's marriage. My thumbs hover over the keyboard, but they feel paralyzed, heavy like lead. The thrill is gone, replaced by a sickening dread. I delete the draft. I throw the phone across the bed, terrified of the monster I hold in my hand, terrified of the silence, and terrified of the noise in my own head. Sleep brings no relief, only a descent into a terrifying, visceral nightmare. I find myself sitting at the head of an enormously long, opulent banquet table in a dimly lit, cavernous hall. The table is groaning under silver platters piled high with food, covered by heavy velvet domes. I'm starving, a deep, unnatural hunger clawing at my insides. I reach out to lift the dome on the massive platter directly in front of me. The smell hits me instantly. That same overpowering stench of rotting flesh from the restaurant, but magnified 1,000 times. I gag, trying to pull my hand back, but my body is no longer under my control. An invisible force compels me to lift the cover. It's not roasted lamb underneath. Lying on the platter, pale and lifeless, is Lila, the woman whose divorce I laughed about. Her eyes are open, staring accusingly at me. Next to her lies Nadia, the one I mocked for her debts, and Sarah. It's a buffet of the people whose reputations I butchered. My horror is absolute, but the compulsion is stronger. Against my will, my hand reaches out. I grab a piece of the cold gray flesh. I'm screaming internally, begging myself to stop, but I bring it to my mouth. I tear into it. The taste is indescribable. The taste of betrayal, of slander, of spiritual death. I'm crying as I chew, forced to swallow the very people I destroyed with my words, feasting on their dead honor, just as the prophetic warning described. I wake up screaming, gasping for air, drenched in a cold sweat. The metallic taste of blood and dirt is actually in my mouth now, real and overpowering. I scramble out of bed, tangling in the sheets, and run blindly to the bathroom, tripping over my own feet in panic. I flick on the harsh fluorescent lights and stare wildly into the mirror, expecting to see blood on my face. What I see is far worse. The beautiful, polished face of Yasmin the socialite is gone. In the reflection, my skin looks gray and slack, like it's decaying on my skull. My eyes are hollowed out, dark pits of despair. And my mouth, the source of all my power and all my poison, looks hideous. My lips are cracked and stained black. I open my mouth in silent terror, and my tongue is no longer just coated. It looks necrotic, black and shriveled like a piece of burnt coal in my mouth. I scrub at my face, at my tongue, with soap and water, hysterical, but the image doesn't change. It's not a hallucination this time. It's a revelation. The invisible rot has broken through to the surface. I'm looking at the true face of my soul, the face of a corpse eater. I slide down to the cold tiled floor, pulling my knees to my chest, rocking back and forth. The silence of the bathroom is amplified by the roaring realization that I have eaten my own spirituality alive, bite by whispered bite, and now there is nothing left inside me but death. I remain on the cold bathroom floor for what feels like an eternity. The terrifying image from the mirror burned into my mind. The silence is broken only by my own jagged, painful breathing and the rhythmic drip of a faucet I hadn't noticed before. The revulsion at what I have become is a physical weight crushing my chest, making it hard to draw a full breath. I am a monster. There is no other word for it. I have feasted on the honor of my sisters and brothers, tearing apart their lives and reputations for my own sick entertainment, trading their dignity for fleeting moments of social power and a cheap dopamine rush. The darkness inside me feels absolute, an infinite, suffocating void that has swallowed every good thing I ever did, every prayer I ever made. Despair crashes over me like a tidal wave, threatening to drown me completely. How can I ever come back from this? How can God ever forgive a creature like me who has reveled in such filth? The thought that I am beyond redemption, that I have sealed my own fate with my own tongue, is a terrifying, paralyzing poison seeping into my veins. I feel an overwhelming urge to just give up right here on this floor, to let the darkness consume the last remaining flicker of light inside me. Why even try to fight it? The weight of my sins is a mountain I can never climb, a debt I can never repay. I am drowning in an ocean of my own making, and I feel like I deserve to sink to the bottom and stay there forever. But then, in the deepest, darkest pit of my self-hatred, a tiny, stubborn memory surfaces like a lifeline thrown into a stormy sea. It's the voice of an old teacher from a religious class I took years ago, a voice I haven't thought about in a decade. No sin is greater than God's infinite mercy, she had said, her voice gentle but firm, looking directly into our eyes. The only unpardonable sin is to despair of that mercy, to believe that your badness is greater than His goodness. As long as you have breath in your lungs, the door to repentance is wide open. The words echo faintly in the cavern of my emptiness, a distant melody in a cacophony of noise. I cling to them like a drowning person clinging to a piece of driftwood in a hurricane. Is it true? Could it really be true, even for me, after everything I've done? The despair is a trap, I realize with a sudden jolt of clarity. It's another lie from the same dark source that encouraged my gossip in the first place. If I believe I am unforgivable, I will never seek forgiveness, and that is the real tragedy. That is the true victory for the evil that whispers to me. I realize with a shock that my despair is actually a form of arrogance, a belief that my sins are so powerful that they can overcome God's infinite capacity to forgive. I need to fight back against this darkness. I need to find a way to that door of mercy, even if I have to crawl on my hands and knees every inch of the way. With a sudden surge of desperate, fiery determination, I push myself up from the cold floor. My legs are shaking violently, but I move with a new, unshakable purpose. I leave the bathroom, deliberately ignoring the mirror and the gruesome reflection it holds, and walk back into my bedroom. The room is dark, illuminated only by the flashing notification light on my phone, which is lying on the bed where I threw it. It looks like a weapon now, a radioactive artifact that has poisoned my life and soul. I walk over to it, my hand trembling with a mix of fear and resolve as I pick it up. The screen lights up instantly with dozens of new notifications from the group chats, the endless stream of venom continuing unabated without me. I take a deep, shuddering breath and do something I never thought I would have the strength to do. I open the first group, the real tea, the epicenter of my digital kingdom. I don't read the new messages. I press Group Info, scroll down to the bottom, and stare at the red Exit Group button. My thumb hovers for a second, a final moment of hesitation, a last gasp of the addiction trying to hold on. Then I press it. A confirmation box appears. Are you sure? Yes. I confirm before my resolve can weaken. The chat disappears from my list. I do it for the next group, Inner Circle Secrets. Exit. Confirm. And the next. And the next. One by one, I sever the digital lifelines that were feeding my addiction and poisoning my soul. With each exit, I feel a tiny bit lighter, as if a physical chain is being unhooked from my heart. When I leave the final group, I stare at the empty chat list for a long moment, a profound, almost deafening silence emanating from the screen. It's over. The noise is gone. Then, to make it final, I power the phone down completely, holding the button until the screen goes black. I walk over to my dresser, open the bottom drawer, place the phone inside, and close it firmly with a definitive click. It is done. The channel is cut. The beast is starved. I turn away from the drawer and look around my room. It feels different now in the silence. Emptier, yes, but also cleaner, as if the air itself has been purified. My eyes wander around the room, searching for something to anchor me, and fall on a small, dusty booklet tucked away on my bookshelf. It's a simple guide to repentance and daily prayers that I received as a gift years ago from a pious aunt and never once opened. I walk over and pick it up, wiping the thick layer of dust off the cover with my sleeve. I sit down on the edge of my bed, the springs creaking in the quiet room, and open it with trembling hands. The first page contains a simple prayer of repentance, a plea for forgiveness and guidance for those who have lost their way. I begin to read it aloud, my voice cracking and hoarse. "O Allah, I have wronged my soul grievously, and no one forgives sins but you. So grant me forgiveness from you, and have mercy on me. Indeed, you are the forgiving, the merciful." As I speak the sacred words, something inside me finally breaks. The dam that has been holding back years of repressed guilt and shame finally bursts. Hot, scalding tears pour down my cheeks, blinding me. These are not tears of self-pity or frustration this time, but tears of genuine, agonizing remorse. I pour out everything in that room, speaking into the silence. The guilt, the shame, the self-disgust, the fear of what I have become. I beg for forgiveness, not just from God, but in my heart, I ask for forgiveness from Lila, from Nadia, from Sarah, from everyone whose name I have tarnished with my poisonous tongue. I promise, with every fiber of my being, to change, to guard my tongue as if my life depends on it, because I now know with terrifying certainty that my soul truly does depend on it. As the tears flow, the heavy, suffocating weight that has been crushing my chest for days begins to lift, slowly, incrementally, replaced by a fragile, tentative feeling of hope. It is the first step on a very long, very difficult road, but for the first time in a very long time, I know I am heading in the right direction. The rot has stopped spreading. The healing can finally begin. Weeks have passed, and the change in me is slow, painful, but undeniable. My tongue, once my weapon, is now my prisoner. I speak less, listen more, and constantly filter my words before they leave my lips. It is an exhausting daily battle against a lifetime of habit. The urge to share a juicy piece of information still rises like bile, but I swallow it down, tasting the bitterness of restraint instead of the sweet poison of gossip. My phone is no longer a grenade. It's just a tool. The group chats are gone, and my circle has shrunk dramatically, but the connections I have left feel real. I've started the agonizing process of reaching out to the people I hurt, offering clumsy but sincere apologies where I can, and praying for those I can't face. Some accept, some don't, and I have to live with that. The gray film on my tongue is gone, replaced by a healthy pink, and my prayers no longer feel blocked. There is a lightness in my chest that wasn't there before, a spaciousness where the darkness used to be. I am still Yasmin, but I am no longer the corpse eater. I am a recovering soul, learning to nourish myself with truth and kindness instead of the dead flesh of others' reputations. The scars remain, a reminder of the monster I can be, but the wound is closing, and for the first time, I feel truly, deeply clean.